What a wonderful introduction for these two entertaining players. SEOA is taking on Margaret FEFILOVA. My name is Gethin Davis, and it's an absolute pleasure to be joined in the commentating booth with my good friend and colleague, Mark White. Well, Mark, this is for a place in the last 16, sir.
Yeah, well, I've just woken up and I've just been going through some results, and there's been a couple of shocks, and as you say, we're down to the last 16. It seems to have flown this year, Gethin. All of a sudden, we're 64 now, just 16. And this is a really, really tough one to call as well. I mean, we all know SEOA, what a great player she's been here. She's had a lot of success on the Predator series. Margaret FEFILOVA yet to break through onto the big stage, really. But who knows, this just might be her year.
I think that's a really good call, Mark. Margaret is an entertaining player, and she does like to rise to the challenge. She's going to need to. SEO has been in real good form. Don't often see her in the losers bracket. She'll be looking to come in to this first set strong, and she has the break. This is a race to 4 per set, best of 3 sets. Well, the one ball not really going close to that center pocket and breaking from the side. I'm sure that was what SEOA was looking to achieve. It's a dry break. FEFILOVA back up to the table with a good look on this one ball, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just looking around to see if any problems. 4 obviously jumps out at you, is a little bit tied up there. 1, 2, 3, no problem. May have to play a 4-7 combo. That's one possibility. Let's see how she goes about it. It's always interesting to see what route the ladies take. Nicely cued.
She's judged that very nicely. There is a small gap past the 10. For viewers new to this tournament, there are no early calls on the 10 ball. If she does call it and pot it, it will be respotted and she gets to continue at the table, but not a full pocket here, Mark.
Yeah, this is the start of the real work now, though. What's she going to do? She's eyeing up that combo, I think, and she want to be as straight in as possible. So just a little bit of a draw shot here. Doesn't want to bounce the cue ball too far out. If she is indeed playing the combo, there you see she can hold off this angle. It's a perfect angle, isn't it, we've got there? Yeah, she's overdone it now. This made this combo a lot more difficult. Gethin.
Yeah, she may be forced into a safety here, Mark. The combination was always going to be a tricky one. But once that cue ball gripped off that last shot, it's really shot up the table a bit further than she'd anticipated. And now looking to get the cue ball locked up behind the 5. She's gone to put behind the 6 to put SEOA in trouble. And the 5 is eliminating the 1 cushion escape. So this is going to need to take a little extra bit of care here.
This isn't easy. May call the 10 here, thinking that maybe she'll flick off the right-hand side of the 4 ball. I think she's got to go up past the 9. It's the only way I can see.
She called, I believe, the 4 in the corner. It may have been the 10. But just getting contact on this 4 ball will be a shot in itself.
Good hit. Very good hit indeed, and got cover. Yeah, acknowledged there by Margaret as well. Little tap on the table.
Yeah, that was really well judged. and a great result. Margaret looked to call the corner pocket just to the left of where she's standing, right up in the top of the screen there. Maybe as a bit of insurance, two-rail escape. Oh, judged that very well. Depends how far that 4 will creep, but it's not crept enough, and that cue ball's close enough to the 7 to yet again put Soa in a difficult predicament. And in our last match that we were treated to on this table, Jasmine Ushan came out with a clear strategy of keeping Sophia Mast in a difficult spot every time she came to the table. Looks like Margaret's employing a similar game plan at the get-go here, and it's rewarded her by the looks of it, Mark.
Yeah, this 4 ball was always going to be a problem, wasn't it? It was tied up from the start. It's the first thing we kind of mentioned, and it's proved to be the key ball here. But there is another little problem. Does the 5 pass the 7? I think it may do. If it doesn't, she can come short side and play it past the 10.
Yeah, she does have ball in hand, so she can pick her spot. But still needs to make it, Mark, and I think you're right. She's going to have to come down the blind side of sorts. And she's headed in that direction. And it's not worked out for her, Mark. She needed to catch the 7 thick in the face, and with that flick, let's put her in a spot of bother.
Yeah, this first rack, so important to get you into the match. You never feel a part of the game until you're on the scoreboard, and it's so nice to win the first one. Steve Davis always put 150% into the first frame of snooker when he was at his peak. He thought it was very important to set the precedent early on, so he would put everything into winning the first frame. And Sarah wanting this rack badly as well, and she has the first, what I would call, clear opportunity.
Yeah, Margaret did get a look, but an unforced error. And now Soa at the table, as you said, Mark, with a good look at the 5, and she doesn't need asking twice. That cue ball's tracking towards the 6, but nowhere near. And now this has developed very nicely. Doesn't need to do too much with the cue ball here. Oh, and hit it flat. You could see it, and the face on Soa, disappointment. The green 6 is held up in the corner pocket as well, Mark, and reprieve for FEFILOVA there.
Looked like she dropped to 20 and found a 5. The look on her face.
Yeah, the cue ball's slowing up nicely. Good angle. And this would be a steal of sorts in our opening rack.
Rare mistake from the Korean.
You've got to feel, Mark, that FEFILOVA isn't going to get too many of them from Soa, and if she were able to pounce on this one, would put a shot across the bow, that if Soa was to make any more, that she would be put in danger. She's a little straight on this 8. Might need to put a bit of a shot. May decide just to roll off the long rail. Keeping it concise.
Didn't want to be playing this. She wanted to play the 9 into the same pocket as she just played the 8 ball, but finished way too straight on the 8. But this going to be no problem. Going to be an early warning to say, Sarah, if you make a mistake, I will punish you.
Done very nicely, with authority. And you were alluding to Steve Davis wanting to lay his mark out in the opening rack. And that's exactly what she's done. And she will get the break for the second rack. And great overhead view there of our referee. Hand racking the balls together. Has been making for thrilling results off the break. More importantly, when you add that to this race to 4 per set, best of 3 set format, we have had some absolute crackers so far. And as you said, we're only halfway through day 4. It seems to have shot by, but I have some great memories of some great matches. In fact, on one day alone, 2 shootouts in a row on my shift, and it was fantastic pool. But we are getting to the business end, and this is up for a place in the last 16. The loser will go home, as so to speak.
Referee Marius Kirilinus. All the way from Vilnius. Mr. Kirilinus from Vilnius.
I thought you said Venus then. I was going to say, that's a bit of a trek to the arena.
I've always said you're from another planet, Geffin.
Real good pace on that break, Mark. Wasn't rewarded with potting a ball, but has left SEOA in trouble, and she has the option to push. And I think she's going to have to take it, because there is no real value in even trying to go for the 1 here. So just nudging it out a ball roll into the open. Well, I say into the open, but giving an open shot on the 1. And now it's up to Margaret if she wants to take this on or give it back to SEOA. She's not, and she's called it in the corner pocket. Oh, no, did she give it back? It looks like SEOA back at the table.
Yeah,
she pushed into this position.
She's
for
jumping.
A reason, Mark.
How do you like your 1 balls? Almost straight in, please.
Well, SEOA pushed into that position, and was quite surprised that FEFILOVA gave it back, knowing that SEOA may have had something in her back pocket. But as it's transpired, Margaret at the table with a very nicely dressed 1 ball. Just having a look around the table. The 9-10 is not nice, and the 4-6 neither. So still a lot of pool to play in this rack.
Margaret beaten by Chow Che Yu in an earlier round. Wins over Charlene Chai and Kukiti Nira have put her here against SEOA. Oh, that's thin.
Yeah, that was the thinnest of edges. Mark wanted to catch that a little thicker and to leave the cue ball tucked behind the 9-10. Now, SEOA's got a good look at this 3 ball. She's called it in the corner pocket underneath her chin, Mark.
Well, to me, she's just not on her game at the moment. Another mistake there on the safety.
Yeah, she certainly doesn't seem to be the SEOA that we were commentating on in the last event where she picked up first prize. And Margaret's taken full advantage of that sort of lax shot and put SEOA back in real trouble. This is not an easy one either.
It's a pretty little chalk holder.
Oh, that was such a difficult shot she took on there. Difficult cueing and not needing any spin on that cue ball as it came back down the table, and didn't miss it by much, but yet again rewarded for her safety play. And these are good opening signs for Margaret here.
I think she's going to be in trouble again here, Geffin, because she's going to be stuck behind that 4-ball once again. And remember, we are playing the 3-foul rule, guys. 3 fouls will be loss of frame, loss of rack.
And that 1 ball is glued to the 6. Every time you do that, Mark, you take away half the table.
Yeah, got to go 2 rows here, Geffin.
Yeah, you fancy her to make contact on the 3, but as you alluded to, if she doesn't, she'll be put on 2 fouls, and I'm sure FEFILOVA will be looking for an opportunity to grab a 3rd and the 2nd rack, so needs to be ultra precise here.
Oh, it's 2.
It is. And it didn't pick up on the spin until it had gone alongside the object ball. And again, FEFILOVA being rewarded with great safety play, and she has the option to go for a 3rd foul here, but there's also a good pattern out there on the table if she were to go for the clearance.
Yeah, if she does scout out a position at all, she does have that chance still to play the 3rd foul. Doesn't have to be consecutive shots for the player laying the snookers. Of course, it has to be consecutive shots for SEOA in this situation. But going for the run out here.
Oh, needs the cue ball. Needed the cue ball to slow down. It's come right into the centre of the table, and that's leaving a trickier cut on the 5. Good natural angle to come back round for the 6 into the same pocket, but a bit trickier than she'd hoped. Makes it cleanly, avoids the 10, well, glances past the 10. I'd like to play this, and where her tip is now, leave the cue ball. And this 2nd rack is starting to come to FEFILOVA, and that's a testament to her safety play so far.
Yeah, I think you can safely say it's game on. Maybe not going the way SEOA may have originally thought. She's in a tough match here, and she'll know that.
Yeah, shot clock just started to beep on her backswing. And that cue ball has misbehaved somewhat. I think that's going to force Margaret to play off the 8 and bring the cue ball behind the 9. It's not the way she planned on this rack going, but
I think she goes for this. No, she doesn't.
And that's a bit pacey, Mark. That's a bit pacey. And what turned from being a great opportunity for Margaret has now given SEOA a little sniff, and clean shot on this 8 ball. You fancy her for the 9.
Yeah, natural angle, taking up back around for the 9 in this left-hand pocket you just saw on your screens. Nothing to do with the cue ball, just make sure you pot the 8. Oh, she's a long way off. Worrying signs, the Korean. Yeah, she does. She looks out of sorts to me. Doesn't look settled yet.
Yeah, and that's a great call, Mark. We've had the pleasure of seeing quite a lot of SEOA and table time. And that does allow us in the booth to be able to pick up on these things. You, a little bit more sensitive than the rest of us. And that's a really good observation, and in turn, Margaret's made the pot, but not avoided the 10, and so for the second time in this rack, just not going her way. And it's calling on her just to pull out a few bigger shots. However, in making the bigger shots, Mark, can just boost the confidence a little bit more. Well, turned it down, and I won't say that that's the best of containing safeties. There's the bank on, and as SEOA's just indicated, that's what she's called. The cue ball will come down to the bottom of the table, so a good chance of running safe if she doesn't make it, but this is not that difficult a bank for either player.
Well, SEOA started her campaign against her fellow compatriot, He Zhu, and she had a 2-1 win in that one. Then she lost to very, very promising player from Argentina, Soledad Ayala. I really, really am a big fan of Soledad. Plays a great, great game. And then a win over Jordan Helfrey has put her into the last 16.
Yeah, the lady from Argentina really is a talent. And that was a confident pot. Again, not getting everything her way on the 10.
Oh, that's a lovely beard look. I thought that was Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses for a second.
It looks just like him.
What a beautiful beard. Seen a few of them, actually, in the audience this year. Las Vegas must have a great beard groomer in town.
Well, while we admire that beard, FEFILOVA takes a 2-0 lead, a very useful 2-0 lead to take advantage of SEOA's, well, not 100% play at the moment. And that's what you're going to have to do, because, well, as you and I know, Mark, SEOA can turn it around, and there's still a lot of match left in this.
Just give you a couple of updates, guys, on some scores just coming in from the men's Las Vegas Open. Albin Ocean has beaten Jeffrey Roda from the Philippines 2-1. Jason Shaw embroiled in a right battle with Max Lechner. It's 1 set all. Lechner guaranteed a shootout. He leads 3-2 in the deciding set. We'll keep you up to date with that as soon as I get the scores. Back to this one. FEFILOVA in charge.
And making the one. What about the cue ball, though? The cue ball has sunk. Good break. Just lost the cue ball a bit, and it took a knock or two.
Yeah, it got bumped twice, didn't it?
Yeah, very unfortunate. But that will give So a ball in hand. And you were talking about Jason Shaw Mad Max match. I was watching a little bit before the start of this, and Jason was down in the second set and clawed it back to 3 apiece, and I sadly had to switch off, and that sounds like it's been an absolute clanger. I believe it's still going on our stream table 3, but please do not go anywhere. So Soa has a good look at the red 3 here. She'll be looking to get her mark on the board in this opening set.
Yeah, she'll be feeling a little bit rattled at the moment. She's had chances, hasn't taken them, and safety's not been the greatest. Margaret has taken the chances that she's had, so this is a must-win rack, not just because of, you know, Margaret being on the hill for the first set, but just to settle herself down, because she just hasn't looked settled yet. Caught out the cameraman. Thought she was going to the side. She wasn't. She's playing tricks on him. Went to the corner and played it very, very nicely.
This is panning out to be a nice pattern for Soa here. She just wants to be a bit particular for this 6. And it's just come back a little bit further than she'd hoped. It's going to mean that she's stretching with the extension on her cue.
Yeah.
Good view of Marius keeping an eye on the 7. Oh, good pace on that, Mark. Very good pace on that, and that allows her to not have to do too much to hold for the 8 in the corner where she's playing from now. Delicately done. As you said, Mark, very important rack for Soa here. She has taken care of it nicely so far. Good angle to bring the cue ball off long rail, and hold for the 10. Would like it to bounce off the cushion. And nicely done. So Soa gets her first rack on the board, and a timely time to do it. She trails 1 rack to 2, but will have the break now. And we will get a good look to see if she can get that working. Both players from the stats, 0% break success. I imagine that will change, and that could play a pivotal role in this match. And coming up later today, Mark, we have the straight pool face-off between Corey Dool and Darren Appleton, race to 150, starting at 7 o'clock local time. I'm looking forward to that one. As we come back to Soa, breaking off, trailing 1 rack to 2 in the first set. Made the 10, which will be spotted.
Yeah, it does count as a ball down, of course. No early 10s, though, either on the break or during the match. 10 ball, last ball. Lots of left-hand spin on the cue ball there. She's played a nice shot here. Can play the 8 into the side, I think.
That's what she's called. Just queuing up over the 3. Looking for the 2 to behave. Just stay out in the open for her. Oh, it's kicked over quite heavily towards the 9.
Yeah, no prizes for guessing the next shot. Hold the cue ball behind the 9, send the 2 ball away.
She was just inspecting if she could sneak the cue ball in between and make the pot. I'm not too sure if that's actually on.
I think it's very risky when there's an obvious hook on, but she could be going for this with the position of the 3 ball. She is going for it. Didn't realise she could get through to it, but obviously can. Great shot, SEOA.
Well, I didn't think that was on, Mark. Brave shot, as you suggested, to take on. Was guaranteed to be left a shot on this 3 ball, but the safety may have been the best option. But maybe SEOA's just feeling like she's starting to get her stroke back. And if she is getting her stroke back, Mark, this would be the right time to do it. If she can prevent FEFILOVA getting to the hill, she gives herself every chance of getting back into this opening set. Now, she's brought that lovely round the 6 for the 5 mark. She's going to need to use the 10 to hold that cue ball. There is a chance if she does catch it on the left-hand side of the 10 that that cue ball may roll behind the 7. So this is a tricky 5. Oh, I mentioned it might do that, Mark. I didn't expect it to go behind the 7. And that has just snuffed the fire out of that somewhat.
Good second prize.
She wasn't far away at all. Had to get up on the table to even have a chance of being able to jump over. It was difficult enough to get the elevation. But yes, Mark, second prize. There is a 1 rail escape. It's fully expected to hit the 6, but not guaranteed to put her opponent in a safe position.
Jason Shaw has been beaten by Mad Max Lechner 2-1. Chinnikov beating Jeffrey DeLuna as well in straight sets. Mario He, straight sets win also over Victor Zelensky. And Tyler Steyer, who is actually married to Margaret FEFILOVA. That's the confusion that I've seen a few guys having in the chat. Why is her name Steyer on her shirt and FEFILOVA in the caption there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screens, they are married. She sometimes goes by FEFILOVA Steyr, sometimes goes by FEFILOVA. Sometimes, as you can see on her shirt today, she just goes by Steyr.
And there was me thinking she stole his top on day one.
I think it looks a lot better on Margaret than it would on Tyler. He's actually 1-1 at the moment with Daniel Maciel in sets, and the pole is 2-1 up. So in pole position in the third and deciding set, Daniel Maciel leads Tyler Steyr 2-1. Or Tyler FEFILOVA, whichever way you look at it. Oh, tremendous from Steyr. Absolutely tremendous. Okay, she's over the top of the 9 ball, but that was a lovely moment. Great jump shot over that distance to be that accurate. Absolutely FEFILOVA fabulous.
It's going to take another great shot here if she takes this 7 on. Avoids the double kiss. Good cue ball. Maybe I would suggest that's probably the best she could have achieved from that position. Has left a shot for SEOA. Difficult cueing against the short rail. Getting good distance between the 7 and the cue ball. However, the 7 is hanging quite a way off the short rail. This would be a thin cut to take on. Running off the left-hand side of it may be the better option. That's what she's gone for. What about that cue ball, Mark?
Perfect.
Exactly where it needed to be. Was unlucky that that 7 didn't lock behind the 9 as well. That would have made it even trickier. So we're going airborne here.
Well, Margaret had a great jump on the 6, almost a great jump there for SEOA on the 7. Got pretty close with it, but left a chance for Margaret to get on the hill here in this opening set of this last 16 match. The Las Vegas Open for 2026.
Yeah, and so far it's been a great start to the year. Had so much fun in our end of year tournament. We had fun in Florida, fun in Spain. It's been great. And if this is what we're going to be treated to through 2026, well, I'm not going to be able to grow my fingernails back for starters.
Yeah, I made a mistake saying last 16. This is to get into the last 16, of course. That's what I meant. This is loser's qualification. So a chance to get into the last 16. Let's tell you a little bit about our referee, Marius, from Vilnius, Pius Labutis country. And the referee, Marius, in his spare time, he's an IT engineer, but he also likes to teach. He's been qualified as a coach for 4 years, and he's been a referee for 4 years as well. Always a thankless task, and I think these referees deserve a little bit of recognition. So thanks to Perry Anderson for providing us with some info, which the referees gave us. It's always nice to know the third person in the arena as well, I think. Gethin, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not an easy job, and well, without them, I think we would have a torrid time out there. And well, they're always dependable, and they do keep an eye on affairs real close. And it's, well, I think the players get very used to it as well, and enjoy having someone just taking the onus away from them. So thank you, Marius.
We'd be waiting a long while for the balls to be respotted if he wasn't out there, wouldn't he? Wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Well done, Marius. So breaking for the set, 3-1 up, Margaret FEFILOVA Steyer.
It's a dry break, and that 1-5 combination is on for SEOA. She's just having a look around at the table at what else is lurking out there. Was very unlucky the 7 didn't drop in the centre pocket.
Yeah, went very close, didn't it, Gethin? So did the 1 ball go close to the corner. And I think it's going to be in the corner after the next shot. Nicely played the combo. Another problem, though, of course, is the 4 ball. She's going to have to do something about that. It's a shame the 9's there, because she could leave herself an angle on the 2 to go into the 4 and the 6, knowing that she'd have the 3 over the side. But the 9 is in the way of doing that. So she's going to have to do it off of the 3 ball. It's never easy doing it off the previous ball, because it's the only chance you've got, of course.
I think she was listening to you, Mark. I think that cue ball was expected to come a bit higher up the table, and she was going to play it off the short rail and try and come between the 8 and the 9, but it didn't come up far enough, so she's just had to change her tactics somewhat, and that cue ball may have run a bit further than she'd hoped.
Yeah, just the safety available. Just the safety on the 4. She can't do anything from there.
She has 2 options here. She can just play a containing safety and slide off it and bring the cue ball back across to the other long rail, or she could try and be a bit more creative and go into the 4 ball and look to bring the cue ball Z style off long rail and bring the 9-8 into play. I consider that the riskier option. And that's what she's gone for. Needs to be precise, and it is. What a shot that was. Well-deserved applause and a nice tap of appreciation from Margaret. She called a ball in the corner pocket, maybe the 8 for insurance. 2 rails, maybe just nipping the 3rd. Wasn't far away.
Great effort from Margaret there, almost clipping it. Now, of course, there's another problem with the 6 ball. She does have ball in hand.
Well, the 7's also a bit tricky, but there may be a route if she can come across the table to play the 6. And if there is, and the way she's played that, she suggests it does, she may be able to just screw back. Not too much, maybe wear the cue ball in between the cue ball and the 6 ball now. And she'll look to take this 7 on, and will have shape to bring the cue ball back across for the 8, so This is not the easiest of pots, but Soa's just looking like she's starting to find her stroke again.
Yeah, and she does have one of the finest strokes in the women's game as well, in my opinion. Such smoothness, silky smooth, SEOA.
Gosh, you could see from that angle, Mark, that was fine margin stuff, made to look rather easy. She doesn't want to finish straight on this 8, and would that little smirk on her face suggest she is?
Slight angle. She can run this through with some right hand spin. No, she can't. It was straighter than I thought. Now then, what does she do here? She's going for it. This is attacking stuff from the Korean.
This is really what we've come to know her for. And when it works, it's enthralling. Needs to make sure of the pot. The 10 will always be there for her. And on this occasion, Mark, she's not made it. How far has that 9 ball travelled?
Yeah, this is on. This is definitely on. Can concentrate fully on just stroking the 9 down the rail. This one never really went close. So a chance to take the opening set here for Margaret FEFILOVA. You have to say, really, she's second favourite for this match without being, you know, horrible. I'm not saying that there's that much of a gap, but SEOA has won so much in the game.
Yeah, she's certainly up there as one of the players you always fancy in it against anyone. And Margaret's just run out of position on this 10 and made it trickier for herself. She's called the bank, not made it, but she has kept the cue ball frozen against the rail. I'm not too sure if that's going to be good enough, though, where the 10 ball's landed up. And this could be a little steal for SEOA.
Yeah, these are the shots that you look at the end of the match when you're analysing it. This has to go down as a chance. It's not an easy chance, but it's the one that champions make. This is the kind of chances that win matches. She could be excused for missing this, but doesn't, and there's the difference.
What a turnaround. That was looking very much like set number 1 to FEFILOVA. And now, well, so we're still in this. The score's back to 3-2. And she will be breaking to try and get on the hill with her opponent. So, good, exciting stuff, Mark. And if anything, FEFILOVA's position play just letting her down on a few occasions and has just been left chasing it. And that has allowed SEOA to get back into it, because you felt, up until that point, FEFILOVA had a great chance of running away with this opening set. So, Marius getting proceedings underway. So SEOA breaking, trailing 3 racks to 2 in our opening set. Loses qualification.
Yeah, whichever way you look at it, it was a chance for Margaret, but she overrun the position. Oh, and look at this.
Ooh. Made the 3 ball. The 1 was on its way as well. Sorry, the 2 ball. The 1 was on its way. The 2 ball stopped it, but then decided to go in the side pocket, and well, the 3 is tricky. The 4's blocked by the 6, but so at the table.
Yeah, look at that 0 100% on the break from Margaret FEFILOVA. She's going to have to improve that. Need to start making balls if you want to win tournaments. Invariably, it's somebody that was breaking well that wins a tournament. Just gives you that extra chance to control the match. So a little safety here from Sarah. In behind the 6. Well, it's leaked out.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that was on her mind as a possibility. Saving grace is that further down the long rail, past the side pocket, is a 5-ball. And that's going to prevent, I believe, her going for the corner pocket. I'm wondering if she can dig into the red 3, use the 5 to slow it down and screw back behind the 7. That's what she's gone for. Oh, and it's turned out very nice for her.
Goes back to her seat. Very, very pleased with that shot. Exactly as planned. Jump stick is out again. Can't make this red 3, but she can certainly create distance. It's normally her go-to escape the jump shot. She prefers to jump than kick. She's a very good kicker, though. She's from Karam country, of course, in Korea. They all play Karam. And talking of Karam, Kim Ga-young, the great ex-9 ball player, now switched to Karam. She's actually Seo's teacher. Not a bad coach to have.
Not at all. There's a gap past the 7. Run into the 4 didn't help. So we'll probably look to put her opponent in trouble. Good chance to do it. Could screw behind the 7.
Yeah, definitely favourite for me, Geffin. Safety's been pretty good quality from these two young ladies. It really has. There's been some great safety in these opening 5 racks.
Needs to be against SEOA. She's very clinical with her angles. And FEFILOVA's really asked the question in this match. And this isn't the first time she's put SEOA in such a difficult predicament. So 2, possibly 3 rails. The third one up behind the 4. She's hit it off the second mark, and it looked like the 9 and the 10 just pushed themselves out the way to leave a pathway to the side pocket, but from the overhead it looks like the 9 didn't move far enough. May be able to slide off the 4 and take the cue ball up towards the 7.
Just to roll up behind the 9, I think here Geffin is a shot. Yeah, the only problem with that is this is a 1 rail kick at the 4 ball, and it's very close to the pocket. She will automatically be on the 5.
And there's always the danger of leaving this. Locked against the 9 would have made this a bit more difficult, but there is a slight gap. And there you have it. However, that cue ball has just run a little bit more, Mark, and it's going to force SEOA to have to play with the extension elevated over the 9, and it's pretty straight too. So this is going to be a great shot to be able to develop the cue ball for the 6.
Using the 30th anniversary bridge there from Predator, 30 years in the business. And it's nice to see the arena coloured pink Of course, they do the Cancer Awareness Month. They donate a lot of money to the cancer charity, hence the pink background. Always nice to see. Great charity.
Okay, I think SEOA was looking to bring that cue ball up into the 8 to leave a chance of putting the 7 in the stain pocket, and now she's going to be forced into playing a safety shot. That was arguably a good chance for SEOA there to get to the hill-hill situation in this opening set at that visit, and now she allows her opponent back to the table, and I'm not too sure she's covered that 7.
I don't think she has. It's a little bit careless there from SEOA. I think she was so disappointed not to get position on the 7 that she's kind of let herself be a little bit unhappy with that particular shot. I don't think she's got the hook. Well, Margaret's keeping the jump stick, so maybe she has. The 10 ball will be called. Possibility of the 10 ball going down won't be a win, but it will keep her at the table. Now, she is a pretty good jumper, Margaret, as we saw earlier.
Great shot, great execution, and a great result. As you said, Mark, that 10 ball will come out and get respotted, but look at the shape she's left herself on the 7.
Yeah, great stuff.
Will that turn out to be a set-winning shot? The position she's played on that 8 would suggest that it could be. And she's held it together well, so just threatening in this opening set the comeback.
She's had one bite at the cherry to take this first set, missed the 10 ball. Bad position from the 9 to the 10. Should be a lot more simple this time. She's nicely on the 10 ball. This to take the first set, guys.
Well, great view of her concentration on Margaret's face there as she makes the 10 ball and takes the opening set. Did make a little bit of hard work, so it did threaten the comeback. However, she pulls through and takes it 4-2 as the players take a small comfort break. Myself, Gethin Davis, and my colleague Mark White will do the same. And please don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments for the start of our second set. Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this losers qualification matchup in the Pro Billiard Series Women's Las Vegas Open 2026. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me for the start of this second set, a good friend and colleague, Mark White. Well, Mark, what do you think SEOA's going to need to do to turn this around?
Well, I think it's quite simple. She's got to stop the mistakes. She's had opportunities in every single rack. She's doesn't seem like the SEOA we've come to know. She's got mistakes in her, which kind of shows a little chink in her armour. We haven't seen that before, I don't think. Margaret FEFILOVA, all credit to her, has capitalised. She almost messed it up in the previous rack to the last one that we just saw. She had the chance, she didn't get the position from the 9 to the 10, but once again, SEOA let her off. So I think she just needs to negate those mistakes that she's making, which we're not used to seeing her make. It's as simple as that. She needs to come out all guns blazing now and stamp her authority on this match, because at the moment, Margaret's thinking, well, I can make mistakes and get away with it. She's not punishing me. And Margaret looking stronger and stronger. Good finish to that final rack in the last set, and she's breaking first in this. This is the only thing she hasn't been doing well, and that's breaking 0% on the breaks. She needs to change that.
Yet again, Mark, 0% success on the break, and that's probably the only chink in her armour so far, as you rightly pointed out. And SEOA will be back at the table, and she's got to look at this cut on the 1. As you can see, she's not short of power, Mark, but the ball's just not behaving for her.
I think this is a crucial rack now. She needs to punish these dry breaks. This is a chance.
The cue ball has bounced out far enough, and I think she has enough space past the 7 for the blue too, and only needs to track back down the table for a position on the 3, and if the 4 passes the 6 into the corner, it could start to open up for her here, Mark.
Yeah, it definitely passes past the 10 ball as well, I believe. No obstacles, so to speak, in this rack, but she's messed it up again, the position. She's overrun it. She's going to have to get the jump stick out, and now the chances of getting back on the 4 aren't very good either. There's traffic in the way, notably the 5 ball. We know she's good with the jump stick, but you can't perform miracles with it unless you're fed, of course. Oh, hello, it's a race. Where's the camera gone? Oh, I thought they was both going to run along the rail, and the cue ball was going to knock the 3 in the corner, and that would have counted, of course.
That would have. God, that would have been a shot and a half.
Let's have another look at it. Look at this. Oh. Could have made the 8 ball there if it had stayed on the table. Of course, it wouldn't have counted because we're not playing 9 ball, but it would have been good for a highlight reel.
Absolutely. And FEFILOVA's returned to the table, all from SEOA's unforced error. And as you were saying, you felt it was a must-win for SEOA. Well, if FEFILOVA was to take this, it's going to start to ask some serious questions. Yeah, she couldn't and didn't need to do much more than that. Got a nice angle on the 5. Should be able to track the cue ball back up to centre table. Would like it to come a little bit further so she could have a nice angle to bring back up for the 7. This could be key shot of the rack for her. And that was a great line.
Yeah, 10 balls in the way here though. She wanted to be the other angle, going away up towards the 7. She's going towards the 10 this time. Couple of latest scores to bring you guys, very important ones as well. The 2 youngsters from the United States going very, very well. Savannah Easton has won her first set against Yuki Hiraguchi, and Sophia Mast has won the first set and is 3-2 up in the second over Amber Chen.
Wow. Sophia Mast had an absolute slog against Jasmine Ushan. A very exhausting match for both of them with so much safety back and forwards. It was a good 3-hour match. Great testament to her character, the young 17-year-old. And we come back to FEFILOVA. If that 9 ball can squeeze past the 10, then you'd fancy her to take this opening rack in the second set.
Well, the big news from the men's tournament, Dennis Grabet, the reigning champion, defending champion, is out. He went down 2-1 to Nukioi earlier on today. So we will have a new Las Vegas Open champion. I tell you what, I quite fancy SVB for this one.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Mark the Mystic White as Margaret FEFILOVA. Well, she's turning that screw a little bit tighter on the South Korean SEOA and gets the second set off to a great start. And this set is a must-win for SEOA. So each rack that FEFILOVA makes will ask a few more questions.
You just mentioned Mystic Mark there. I actually had a character called Mystic Mark when I used to be on radio back in the day. I would do the horoscopes. People would ring in with their wishes, would tell us their birthday, and Mystic Mark would tell them all what's going to happen to them.
You could have opened up a Pandora's box there, Mark, in the comment section. I look forward to looking back at that one.
If you want your fortune told, please don't come to me. It was just a joke.
Sagittarius.
Well, the future looking very, very bright for Margaret FEFILOVA. I can predict that one. Taking the first set, she's taking the first rack as well and breaking. Can she make a ball? That's the question. Come on, Margaret. We're rooting for you.
Got a thick contact on the 1, which led to it not tracking towards the centre pocket, and well, even with that support mark, yet again another dry break for her, and if anything's going to let her down in this match, it could be the break. Now, from the overhead, SEOA does have a nice look at the 1, but the green 6 is spoiling the party. It does lend itself, though, for her to slide off and maybe play a good safety. She's made the 6 and called the 6. I didn't hear that call, Mark. And just drew it back avoided bringing the 7 in the way. And from the way she positioned her cue there, that 3 could very well pass through the gap of the 8 and the 10. Otherwise, she's going to be bringing the cue ball over towards that purple 4.
Few people asking about the men's last 16. When will it be played? It starts 4 p.m, so it's the next round coming up on Pro Billiard TV today. Any info you need, go to probilliardseries.com. The schedule's on there, the prize money, the different tournaments, the events coming up later in the year. There's some new ones this year from Predator as well. So keep your eyes on probilliardseries.com. Now then, this is a real chance. Prime position here on the 4 ball. Roll up for the 5 into the same pocket. Needs to clear here, Gethin.
Fully agree. Or just off straight. Just didn't get the run off the long rail that she expected. Still a makeable 7, but not going completely her way. Not full control of that cue ball.
It's kind of been her problem, hasn't it, in this match? Just hasn't got that cue ball on a piece of string. It's more like a piece of elastic at the moment. She needs to get control of it.
Yeah, and again, Mark, just the wrong side of the 8. These small margins can make big differences. Yeah, we'll leave a thinner cut on the 9. Doesn't need to do too much with the cue ball, just nice pace off the long rail, off the opposite long rail, and hold for the 10 into the same pocket. Judged to perfection and could consider it a must-win rack early in this second set, but she has, and brings the scoreline back to 1 apiece, and that will keep this second rack interesting, to say the least. You mentioned Dennis Grabber exiting the men's event. Well, he's not gone, though. He will be back in our mixed doubles turbo that takes place tomorrow. I believe he's teamed up with Christina Tkach, and there's 7 other teams performing. And that will be starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then the finals later on in the evening at 8 p.m. That is going to be some thrilling stuff. $40,000 jackpot to be split between them, Mark. I think it's the
very
first time I've
nice
seen
too.
that before,
Very nice too. 20-second shot clock on that, so that's going to be fun. Not too much time for talking. They're going to have to let the cues do the talking. 3 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks, Gethin. Back to this one. Sarah has the break. She has been the better breaker of the two.
Oh, the 5 threatened, but it didn't drop. That will bring FEFILOVA back to the table. The 1 is in a tricky spot down there in the corner pocket. As you can see, the 8 ball is rolled up next to it. I'm not too sure if there is a chance to carom onto the 8 and pot it. If there's an opportunity just to bank the 1 ball back towards her and leave the cue ball behind the 6, I'm sure she'll go for that. was able to call the 8 and make the 8 mark. And well, I'm having a look at the 2 ball, the angle she's left herself on the 1. If the 2 passes the 3, she's having a look. I'm having a look. I'm not too sure that passes. This could be now a tricky position shot. She may even have to try and drop behind the 2 to play it into the same pocket as where the 1's going. Well, she's keeping me guessing, Mark. She elected to go into it, and that might not have turned out too bad at all. That passes the 7. She can bring the cue ball long rail, long rail.
Yeah, good shot. Decided she had to alter the position, rearrange the furniture, so to speak, and played it very well, Gethin.
Avoids the middle pocket. Leaves herself a similar angle of cut on the 3. And, well, that 4 may not pass the 7, so just needs to be a bit more particular about her cue ball. Has been doing very well with the position play so far, especially when it comes to moving other balls. That was clean as a whistle, and that would indicate this 4 ball does slide down the long rail into the corner pocket. And this, I feel, Mark, is the key shot. To get position on the 6 now should make this rack elementary, but that is not a given. Big shot from FEFILOVA here. She's played that well. She's going to still be tracking the cue ball back down the table. May need to put a bit of extra venom on this and go short rail, short rail. Not too sure she can play this delicately enough.
Big bounce. Oh, not enough.
Yeah, that was always the danger. But with that thin cut, I do not think she could have held for the 7 without taking the short rail again. And definitely needed that bigger bounce.
Safety here, try and get that cue ball up behind the 9.
Needs to travel.
Good effort. Got distance, Gethin. It's not easy, this one. Won't want to play the bank either. Could send the 7 straight up the middle of the table again. Leave the cue ball down this end.
Yeah, I think that's the best policy here. I think trying to feather this 7 from where FEFILOVA's left that cue ball is asking a bit too much. Oh, that 7's bounced quite a bit. Oh, not as much as I thought it may have done. So the 9's still blocking a path to the corner pocket. But that does give FEFILOVA a position to aim for with the cue ball. She may be looking to get a good safety behind the 9 here.
Very difficult, very touchy. She's played it. Oh, I got the double kiss. It may have helped her. Now, is the
Wow.
potting angle there? I don't think it is. She may have got away with this. That's a rare time where a double kiss actually helps you. Well, maybe it's on. Well, she could see more than enough of it, and she's overcut it. She got away with it again, though. Yeah, she's just not the normal SEOA at the moment. Made more mistakes in this match already than I've seen her make in entire matches before. Looking determined and focused, FEFILOVA. That's okay.
It is indeed, and well pointed out. FEFILOVA can just keep the pressure on and not give away anything silly. She is in with a really good chance of taking this match.
Remember, this
Ooh,
is a loser's qualification. If you lose this one, you are out. As we see another mistake there from the Korean. Chance for Margaret. It's very easy to top stun these, take all the pace out of the cue ball, so you're not really aiming top as it becomes bottom when it hits that small short rail. So I have to cue these just below centre and nice and smooth, just like that, to get some distance on the cue ball. She's left herself a little bit thin. It's going to need the extension on the cue, I think. She's quite tall. Maybe she can reach it. Oh,
saving grace. The cue ball will track down lovely for the 10.
Well, she overcut it slightly, but played it to perfection. It's going to be 2-1. She's going to be leading again and breaking. Now, Mystic Mark is back. He says she's going to make a ball on the break here. She's going to make the one ball on the break. There you go. There's a prediction.
I'm just phoning my bookie. Give me one moment, please.
All bets
I
are
have
off.
to say, Mark, this crowd has been banging since the first match at 9 o'clock this morning. There's a few movement of players now as different matches finish and get started. But what a great atmosphere we've had on both TV table 1 and 2. It is free for visitors.
Well, the reason for the movement, Gethin, is because Sophia Mast has just beaten Amber Chen in straight sets. So the crowd from there have come over to watch who they consider an American already. Margaret FEFILOVA-Steyer, married to Tyler, of course. And I'm sure he's in the audience somewhere. I don't think he's playing anymore. No, the last 16 of the men's is complete, and I'll give you that last 16 after the break. I told you he was a fraud.
Well, keeping to form, sadly for FEFILOVA, fortunately for SEOA, another dry break. And that 4 didn't come to the rescue. And a great shot available on the 1 to get to the 2. And there's not much trouble out there. The 5 hampered a bit by the 8.
Yeah, this really is go time now for SEOA.
Containing safety likely here, unless she's going to go for the cannon. I can't imagine. And brought the cue ball close to the 8, didn't lock up against it. There is a bit of a gap and maybe a one-rail escape, although FEFILOVA was eyeing up the two-rail escape. That might promote a better chance of running safe after contact.
Let's just give you the men's lineup for the last 16. Christopher Tevez will play Shane Van Bonen. Carlo Biardo against Joshua Filler. What a cracking match that'll be. Yannick Pongas is up against Arsene Cesfalinov. Ben Francis. Now, you may not know Ben Francis. He's a lovely, lovely guy. He runs a pool room in Calgary called Leather Pocket. He's the manager there. And he will be up against Max Lechner. Albin Ocean is playing Ruslan Chinnikov. That's a mouth-watering prospect as well. Mario He, Wojtek Shevchek. Daniel Maciel against Ralph Souquet. Fedor Gorst is up against Naoki Oi. That's the last 16, and they're going to be starting, guys, 4 p.m. today, right after this match. We're not sure which one it's going to be yet, but stay tuned. It's going to be an absolute cracker. I've got a sneaky suspicion it could be SVB. I'm just guessing.
Well, you mentioned mouth-watering prospects. Naoki Oi against Fedor Gorst could be a real clanger. Naoki Oi has been playing some very, very delicious pool. As we just watched Margaret make a great jump shot, SEOA putting her in trouble. Really difficult to contact that too without moving the 7 first. And, well, it's left a shot for SEOA, but not so easy to get on the 3.
Still hasn't got going. We still haven't seen her true potential in this match. But that might kickstart it now. That's a great shot. She's played on the 2. Is she on the 3? I think she is. Just pulled up in time. It's now or never. So
yeah, she needs to be particular with the red 3, as that 6 ball, if she doesn't move the cue ball enough, will get in the way of the 4. And, well, I think she's not got the potting angle. The aggressive shot is going for the bottom right corner as we look at the overhead. I would suggest just a thin feather. She's gone for it.
Cue ball though, he's going to be close. Oh, it's okay.
Well, that has left FEFILOVA staring down the barrel of a big shot on this 4. As you can see, the 8 ball just making that 5 tricky. She'll need to load this up with some topspin to bring the cue ball back down this end of the table.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sure of going for this. I think she's played the right shot there, unless she scratches. Oh no, what a mistake. Oh dear, that could be a big turning point there. She had a good chance there to get SEOA in a bit of trouble with a half ball safety, but she's caught it completely wrong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. There was always the threat of that happening, and you don't want to give SEOA too many chances to start getting back into this second set.
Yeah, that was sadness in slow motion there from Margaret. She stood there waiting for it. She knew it was on its way. Another chance here.
Yeah, screws off the long rail, leaving good angle on this 6. Needs to try and avoid the 9 rather than run into it. Just like that, and well, a glimpse of SEOA coming out of a shell. Wouldn't be a bad time to do it, but she's just looked up. I think she's just fallen the wrong side of that 7, which means she may have to just screw back a little bit and play it into the 10 ball corner pocket. She'd be able to run through. She was able to force it through to get a better look at the 8.
Oh, this is a great angle by the cameraman. Playing the 10 ball because the 8 didn't go and it's gone wrong.
Yeah, good opportunity. Always difficult to judge where that 8 ball was going to go after contacting the 10. She did have an idea, but it's just overrun. Looking to bring the 10 in. She has done.
SEOA coming out of a seashell by the seashore of Las Vegas.
Some eagle eyes in the crowd there. Looking on. FEFILOVA with the jump stick. Didn't hear a call.
I think I heard a cry for help.
Be interesting if she did make a call. Which one it was?
The bank maybe was the favourite, I guess. Oh, is this 8 ball going to run? Oh, it's held up, kind of. There is a cut on this 8, but it's a thin one. A lot of pressure on this as well, staring the hill in the face. And there he is, Mr. Tyler Steyer.
He's come to us for his top back. This is a thin cut, Mark, but if made, presumed to be very natural to get on the 9, which he has, but just fallen again low. Not running her way completely.
She's going all round here, I think. She's going to power this in with high right. Needs it to run, needs it to run. It hasn't. It's going to be distance, it's going to be pressure on this 10 ball. This is not what she needs right now. A straight in 10 would have been much better, especially the way she's been playing. This to level things up in the second set. Right in the heart.
Yeah, and a deserved round of applause. The difference between 3-1 and 2-2, massive at this stage in the second set. So we'll return to the table with the break. And yeah, fantastic stuff from both these ladies. And as you said, Mark, this will be for a place in the last 16. The loser of this match will not be proceeding any further in this tournament.
Yeah, and it will be a redraw. The 8 from the loser's side will be drawn against the 8 from the winner's side. Already through Jasmine Ocean, Cheska Centino, she's still going well. Wang Wang Ling, Pia Filler, Christina Takach, Han Yu, Chao Che Yu, and Wei Chu Chen. 3 players from Chinese Taipei already through into the last 16. That's a good average. This young lady will be hoping there's a Korean added to that list. Balls again on the break. Gethin.
Yeah, making balls, but that too has not been friendly. Really good break, great power, good control of the cue ball. But look where that two's ended up on the halfway line there.
Another crucial rack. They're all crucial, but this one is to get themselves on the hill in this second set, and it's a set that this young lady just has to win.
Yeah, she's just looked at the option of glancing off the left side of the two, and there's not really much chance of finding cover, so she might need to play a little bit of improvisation here to get good cue ball. Just wondering if she may be forced on to taking the centre pocket on.
I think I would. Oh, she's not. So that shows maybe how she's feeling. It was a natural angle to take her round for the 3 ball. Crowd absolutely glued to their seats for this one. He's just moved to the edge of his seat, that guy.
Wants a better view of this one-rail escape from FEFILOVA. May choose to come in very gently. Hasn't, and has missed completely. Ball in hand to SEOA. And where that 2 ball is, Mark, it appears that SEOA is going to push it behind the 7 and look to try and put FEFILOVA in trouble once again and draw that second foul.
Yeah, not the best shot she's played. I think there's a route through to this. Overhit it. I think she can get behind the 7 here, no problem.
Marius having
Referee.
a good look.
Yeah, he was getting in position, wasn't he?
That's a foul.
Foul called. Yeah, it's a foul.
That second foul,
See that,
by the way.
Well, Margaret looked a bit perplexed there. Let's have another look at it. Ooh. That was a tough call. I'm not convinced. I don't think Margaret is either. But accepts the referee's decision. What do you think, Gethin?
Well, we might be at loggerheads here, Mark. I thought straight away from the way the 7 reacted that was a foul. Marius also thought so, but watching it back on the replay, it didn't look conclusive, and so maybe we'll get a little sneak back at that replay and slow it down. Oh, it's definitely a foul.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, referee. That's why he's paid the bucks, to make those big decisions.
And well done, production team, for getting us that replay in a timely manner. Did clear up things for our audience at home. I'm sure the comment section were having a small debate. Does this 4 pass the 5? It looks mighty tight if it does. Not at all.
And I'm going to stick by what I said. I'd like to see a super slow-mo of that. I'm still not convinced. I'm not letting you have that one just yet, Geffin. I'm going to be super slow-moing that on my YouTube later on. Very easy for us with technology available. Referee has to make a split decision, of course. Split second decision, I should say.
Well, SEOA has done what she needed to do there. Focused on the cue ball. And what a good cue ball she's got. And so FEFILOVA needing to pull out a big shot here. She is on 2 fouls.
Yeah, she will have been warned. Can't afford to feather the 6. Oh, come on. Oh, she's missed it. It is rack over. Margaret, not happy with that. 3 fouls. You never like to be 3 fouled as a pro. But that young lady there drew the foul. And she saw it coming once again. She knew it was a foul all the way. Very, very difficult hit for Margaret FEFILOVA-Steyer.
Yeah, clever play from SEOA there. And that gives her a lifeline. The crowd really warming up to this now. Here we go. Oh, yeah. What do you think now, Mark? You've gone quiet on the other end there. So we'll come back to SEOA's break.
I'm pleading the 5th.
Oh. Dry break. That 6 ball frozen against the 1. It's going to force FEFILOVA to play a push. And SEOA tapping on the door of this second set.
Latest scores for you guys. Chihiro Kawahara a set down to Bomi Kwon. Sophia Mast already through beat Amber Chen in straight sets. Yuki Hiraguchi is a set down to Savannah Easton, but they're 3-3 in the second set there. Nina Tordvand a set down to Kristina Zlateva, and Anita Kaya is a set up and 3-3 with Kennedy Mayman, another young American who's gone under the radar.
Yeah, very much so. He could be in for a surprise in this Pro Billiards Series Las Vegas Open, Mark. We do like that.
Love surprises. Do love a surprise.
FEFILOVA just looking to, I was going to say, play the 1 into the 5 to leave it there. She's made the 5, didn't call it, so that brings SEOA back to the table. Can she keep the cue ball behind the 10?
Just shows you how different people see different things. It's been checked by our producer. Thank you very much, Morgan. He says 100% a foul. So well done to referee Marius as well. half of the people in the chat are wrong, half of them are right. And I'll hold my hands up as well. I'll hold my hands up as well. I saw it differently, but then I've got one eye, which doesn't work very well anyway. So Margaret on this 9 ball, just joking.
Oh, that cue ball swerved around the 1 ball there, Mark. Couldn't have got any closer, in my opinion.
The speed of it just arced it around off the second rail. Look at that, almost arced into it. Great effort. But you get the feeling the Korean is just starting to play and play the way we know she can play.
Well, I don't think she's come far enough to find the potting angle here, Mark, but you could seriously find her leaving FEFILOVA in trouble. She's called the 3-railer into the top left corner. She'll be looking to freeze that cue ball where it is.
When you said we'll find her, I thought you was going to say in the kitchen at parties.
I'm sure she'd be lots of fun at parties, but on this occasion she has put FEFILOVA in another spot of bother. And well, looking at where the 7, 8 and 6 are, there may be an opportunity here for SEOA to maybe go for the 3 fouls again. However, FEFILOVA first to hit the 2. She's got a good line. Oh, and she's come around it again. Hair's width.
2 fouls.
And 2 in a row would be a sucker punch.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen that. You rarely see it in the program anyway, in the pro game anyway, but to see 2 in a row, I think that was a second foul. She missed the 1 ball, didn't she? And she's going to be going for the 3rd one here. I thought she was going to try and get her in behind the 8 ball. Still might do. No, she's going for the run out. Goes for another 30 seconds. Well, she has gone for the 3rd foul. Oh, she's made it though. And she didn't call it. Well, I can't believe she hasn't at least called it. Why not? Why wouldn't you call that?
Completely agree, Mark. She was always going to be left looking at the 4. Will that turn out to be a moment in this match? It will change the shape of this second set. And look at FEFILOVA come out of the blocks.
Good shot. She's got herself onto this 6 ball. 7 does pass the 9, so nothing to do with the cue ball here. Just make the 6.
Oh, I tell you what, Mark, that is a tight gap by the 9. Looking by the way she's standing at this shot, I'm not too sure it does go past. Oh, maybe it does. But this is going to take a good shot too.
You could even go forward here with a touch of left-hand spin. No, she's just going straight across. Yeah, it was harder to play it the way she's played it, but I don't think then, Gethin, that 7 ball doesn't pass the 9. Perhaps that's why she's played it to go the other side. I can't see any other reason to play it like that unless she was trying to move it. But that was very, very dangerous.
I think you nailed it. I think she was trying to move it. Brave shot. Didn't make the 6 though. And now we're going to find out if it does pass the 9.
Well, it must have. She wouldn't have played it that way, which makes it even more mysterious why Margaret didn't play just to drop that in and cue ball straight across in the same position as this.
Well, if
I
it
don't
doesn't
understand the shot she played.
If it doesn't, she's going to slide off it. Yeah, she's sliding off
maybe
it.
it doesn't. Yeah, so it doesn't. Apologies then to Margaret. It didn't go. But in the same way, you know, Margaret could still have played the same shot Sayers just played.
And this is on. May even be a call for playing this into the centre pocket.
Yeah, I like the centre here, I must say. Leads to the 8 ball much better. Slightly more difficult pot into these tight side pockets on the Predator arc table. Oh dear, oh dear.
That centre pocket just got that little bit tighter and has spat out the ball. It's come out a little loose.
Yeah, played it very aggressively, didn't she, to draw over for the 8 instead of running it in, maybe with high right. But anyway, it's gone. Chance now to win this second set. Whoa, she's caught the 9 ball. I can't believe that.
I think she was going to anyway. I think she wanted to catch it on the high side so the cue ball would come off the long rail back across the table, and it just hasn't. And that now makes the level of difficulty on this 8 incredible.
Similar shot to Margaret's 6 ball. Maybe slightly more difficult. Well, what do you think to that, Gethin? The pressure's on.
Absolutely. There were some glimpses in the second set, Mark, that SEOA was digging deep and deep enough. But that 8 ball needed to drop. It hasn't. And look at this. For an opportunity, FEFILOVA to take us to a hill in the second set. And it could go either way at that point.
Well, what a time it would be to make a ball on the break when you're on the double hill. That would kind of be poetic, wouldn't it? You have to say still, SEOA has not played her usual A game. She really hasn't. And I'm sure she'll say herself in interviews after, should she go on to lose or win this match, she still hasn't played her best in this losers qualification.
3-3 Mark. Hill in the second set. I'm picking up the phone to Mystic Mark. Will there be a ball off the break?
I'm going to have one more go. I'm going to say, hold on a minute, I'm getting something. I'm getting something. She makes the 6 ball on the break.
Oh, fantastic. I love the bravery. There's not many in the game that will throw their heart out there like you will, Mark. And, well, you heard it here first. 6 ball off the break. Did Marius hear that? Where's he put the 6 to start with? Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's the. I should have waited until I'd have seen what ball was where, really, shouldn't I? I wonder, will she change anything on the break, or will she just stick with the same one? Surely has to make a ball eventually. This will either be a mic drop moment from me or a mic drop moment from me.
Well, I'm just wondering how many matches I've seen. I mean, if FEFILOVA was to take this off a dry break, I don't think I've seen a match where a winner has broke dry the whole match.
It's rare, that's for sure. I mean, it is a notoriously difficult break anyway. 10 ball with the hand rack, never easy anyway. It's almost impossible for referees to get, you know, a really, really tight rack every single time. Let's hope they are nice and tight. They actually saw the 10 ball go in for Seyberts, didn't we? Into the bottom right-hand corner, went straight in, didn't even get kissed. So Margaret breaking off, trying to make, well, the 6 ball is a 4 railer. I've just noticed it could be a 4 railer. It's not going to make the 4 rails. Oh, nearly got kicked in there.
You were a centimetre away.
Oh, the cue ball did go though. Oh dear, yeah, little bit of emotion there. You don't often see much from Margaret, but she came across them, didn't hit them well.
She didn't at all. One small saving grace here is that 3 ball is positioned in a tricky spot between behind the 4. Now, so will be fully aware of that. And I'm just wondering if she's trying to leave it straight so she can screw back and maybe even get between the 9 and the 7. This is a shot with fine margins, as you can see, yeah, drawing it straight back. Key shot.
Sophia Mast through. Savannah Easton through. She's beaten Yuki Hiraguchi in straight sets. Kennedy Mayman still going, but that's 1 set all now. Kennedy was a set up. It's now 1 set all in that one. Things really hotting up now. This Pro Billiard Series, Las Vegas Women's Open. Not just around the arena, but in this one as well. This is hotting up. We're hill here.
Yeah. So we're at the table for her tournament life. I'm just wondering if she can screw back where the cue ball is now and through, so she can take the 4 into the same pocket.
There's Donnie Mills, the car sales pool player from Florida. Lovely fella, Donnie. And producers picking out people in the audience. I want to see if we've got another beard. I think we should have a best beard tournament as well while we're here.
Looks like our Only Fools and Horses character has left his seat, hopefully to be replaced with another beard. But that was a great shot by SEOA here and an important part of the match. She's got round for the 6. Needs to get down the table for the 7, and the 8's not passing the 10, so needs to be particular with the positioning here.
Oh, it might do after this shot. Oh, no.
No,
there is a combo on, but obviously it does go in the bottom right-hand corner.
Deep screw on this shot. Into the long rail is the hope. Didn't need the long rail. Played that great. Big time to do this, Mark. Real big time. Still not getting the ideal position. This is rather straight. She's probably going to track this through towards the centre pocket. Margaret can only look on at this point. Oh, she's tried to force an angle. Has done the best she could. And this to take us to a third and deciding set mark.
Yeah, I think she's played well enough in this second set. She's improved a little bit, so I think she deserves a chance at a third set. I think that's a fair... Yeah, timeout, says referee. So Margaret has hopped out. So too has Sayre. Gethin Davis and myself, Mark White, are going to do the same. We'll be back with the crucial deciding set in just a few minutes.
Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this losers qualification matchup. You join us for the start of the third set and for a place in the last 16. SEOA taking on Margaret FEFILOVA. My name's Gethin Davis, and bringing you this last set, my dear friend and colleague, Mark White. Welcome back, Mark.
Thank you very much, Gethin. Let's see if there's anything doing on the break for Sarah. No, there isn't.
No. And, well, there's a good look on this one ball. No real merit in going for it, but a great opportunity for safety. A risky attempt, bringing it behind the 9 ball, was a threat of scratching in the corner. Avoided the scratch and may have been rewarded with the 9 ball bopping off the cushion in the way. So is having a close inspection. Maybe there is a gap. Is the gap big enough for her to see the potting angle? Just hopping over the edge with the jump stick. And that's a good result. Okay. FEFILOVA can see the 1 ball, but that 6 is really hampering the queuing. She's made her mind up on the line.
Well, we have our 4 p.m. match scheduled for 4, I should say. It will follow this set, depending on how long this set takes. Of course, 45 minutes until the scheduled start, I believe. Actually, I think we've actually gone over that time. I think we're running late already. Joshua Filler will take on Carlo Biardo on this table. That's right, at 4 p.m. We've still got 45 minutes to play this one.
Correct, Mark.
It will follow this match. Table 2, we're still not sure who's going to be on table 2 and table 3. Both available, of course, on Pro Billiard TV.
Yeah, lots of matches on Pro Billiard TV. If you're enjoying it, please do like, share and subscribe. I've got a feeling, Mark, you and I are returning on table 2 after this.
I was hoping we were going to stay on this table for Josh Filler.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. And Soa was looking to make that 1. Just rattled in the centre pocket. And well, FEFILOVA has a good look at the 1. And she's just surveying where the safety options are. Oh, she called the combination, made the combination, and with a little bit of lady luck, has finished with shape on the 1 ball. She raises her hand as a gesture to Soa in a small apology, but take nothing away. She had to make that shot happen. And this is shaping up rather nicely for Margaret here. Doesn't need to do too much off the 2. And where the 4 ball is, the cannon on the 6 is pretty much a given, so good chance to take this opening rack in the deciding set.
Yeah, you must win the racks that you're supposed to win. This one nice and open, no reason. Just has to keep cue ball on the right side of the ball. Has to be careful here, control the 4 ball as well. Won't be putting a lot of pace into this. It's very easy to decelerate on these. Nicely played. And now should be out, Gethin.
I agree. At this stage of the match, nothing is a given. And it's good to see FEFILOVA just taking her time, walking round to the next shot, making sure whether she wants to be high, straight or low on the next ball. And that
well, she hasn't gone far enough, has she?
Oh, I was just going to say that should be good enough, but if not, that's a poor judgment and an unforced error.
Well, she had so much real estate to play into there. I think she's still okay. She seems to be getting down pretty quick. Yeah, she's fine. But she did cut it fine.
She did, and she's probably finished a bit straighter on this 7 than she wanted to. Would rather the cue ball did the work off the 7. Now she's going to have to make the cue ball work.
Yeah, this is pure pressure, isn't it? There's a great shot there of the beautifully crafted Predator Arc table. I really do like this table. I saw Darren Appleton yesterday remarking on Facebook, but he says it's as good as any table he's ever played on, which is, coming from Darren Appleton, really is quite the compliment. He's played all over the world on every single table you could possibly play on. So thanks for your kind words, Darren. We know how honest Darren is. He's from up north. They say what they like and they like what they say.
And they don't mix their words.
They certainly don't.
FEFILOVA not mixing her shots either on this occasion. Down the long rail into the corner pocket to take this opening rack in the deciding set. And she has mark. And a ripple of applause through the crowd. That's one step in the right direction. And just looking to put that second set result behind her. And she will retain the break. So this is starting to look good for her. And as you saw in the last break, she is starting to make balls, Mark. Sadly, on that occasion, made the cue ball as well. But will this be the sign of things to come? And will she look to run away with it at this early stage?
Well, Soledad Ayala continues her great run. She's beaten Charlene Chai in straight sets. Yumi Lim is one set all with Bean Hung, and Bean has taken the opening rack in their deciding set. Kennedy Mayman still going there 1-1 in sets and 1-1 in racks in their deciding set. And Christina Zlateva has beaten Nina Torvund of Norway in straight sets.
Thank you for that, Mark. The results are coming through thick and fast. And as I may have...
down. Eight balls straight into the corner. And a shot at the 1 First time she's made a ball.
Absolutely incredible, and what a time to do it. She did make a ball in the last break, but this time she's made a ball, kept the cue ball on the table, and has a real good look at getting position on this 2, but that 4 is a little gnarly where it's situated. There is a shot to carom into the 9, but this 2 is not a gimme.
I love that word, gnarly. It's a Jamie Oliver word.
Yeah, one that's stayed in my vocabulary from my surfing days. I'm a little bit too old for that now. But yeah, it's a word that I do like to use now and again, especially when it comes to the weather out here in the Netherlands. She's just... Well, I was going to say, it looked like she just overhit it, but... From this angle, well, I think she's going to have to go for the cut.
Yeah, would have liked an angle on the 3 to take her into the 4-9, but I don't think she has that now, so it's going to have to be a safety, I believe.
Well, I can't imagine the combination is on.
No. Is she looking at the carom, maybe? That looks a little bit off as well. I think she's just playing the safety, surely.
Yeah, she did. Played it well. So we're back to the table. Fully expected to make contact on the 4. But where that 4 is positioned, depending on which way she comes into it, there is a chance of the scratch.
She's looking to go 2 rails and clip it in. She could miss this altogether. She's trying to make this 4 ball.
She could cross bank it back into the other corner pocket. It looked like it was going in that direction until the double kiss. And although she's left the 4 for FEFILOVA here, I think she's just tied up the 7 on the 6. As you see from the replay there.
Yeah, it's tied up. Work to be done in this rack.
Oh, she's played that well.
Oh,
she may have left herself an
shot.
angle. If she has left herself an angle to open up this 6, that is a fantastic effort from FEFILOVA there.
Yeah, cued it so well from off the rail. Great shot. No attempt at the pot, just the safety. Could see the jump cue.
Yeah, could see the jump cue. There is a 1 rail escape round the back of the 7. I'm not too sure if she can see enough to play the 1 rail and attempt the 5 up into the top right corner. But what she has done is she's called the top left. Now, keep your eye on the cue ball as well. Oh, the cue ball collided into the rail at the centre pocket and bounced back out, and that's left. Oh, it was the spin, sorry, Mark.
Yeah, it was the spin. I mean, she's gone all in making that. I mean, there was no attempt at any safety. I think she just went 100% for the ball. And Margaret, okay, the 6 isn't on, but there's a chance to make the 5 and get a good safety in. Yeah, certainly is. And now she can tuck her in behind the 7. A 2-0 lead at this point in the match would be, well, very valuable. Oh, it's leaked a little bit. She's left it. She's left a chance at this 6-ball.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity just to tie up SEOA, giving FEFILOVA a great chance of taking a 2-0 lead. Well, it's not a gimme for SEOA, but it's definitely on. Just wondering if she's worried about the scratch, if she's going to attempt it in the centre. Don't think it's the scratch is on. Oh, Mark White. Not only did she avoid the scratch, she's come down underneath the 7 and, well, a little bit more angle than she'd hoped, but only needs to float this in.
A reminder to those watching that may not be regular viewers of the Pro Billiard series, if this does go to 3-3 in this final set, there will be a shootout. There's no deciding rack, it will be a shootout. And she's missed the 7.
She has only needed to float it in. And that 9 may have come to hamper a direct line on this 7, but good opportunities for FEFILOVA to attack this.
Well played. Now I like going in and out of the corner here with the cue ball, swing it in and out of the corner with low left. Round 3 rails for the turn into the bottom left. Absolutely. That young lady there staring a 2-0 deficit in the face. Played it to perfection. Well, this is invaluable, this 2-0 lead now.
Indeed, Mark, and well, you would be remiss to think that that second set will have taken a lot of energy out of FEFILOVA, but it doesn't seem to have daunted her. She's held her composure. She takes a 2-0 lead in this deciding set. This will be for a place in the last 16, Mark.
Yeah, just going back to what you just mentioned there about, you know, maybe there's some fatigue setting in. She's put a lot of effort in. But I can tell you one thing, Margaret FEFILOVA is probably one of the fittest of the female players. I know she's got a strict workout regime. She's on a strict diet. She does lots of meditation and all that good stuff. Stamina will not be a problem for Margaret FEFILOVA. I'm not saying it will be for SEOA. I'm not really sure of her fitness regime. She certainly looks as if she works out as well, but I know for a fact that Margaret does. Takes big care of her body and her mind, and that's what keeps you so focused in moments like this. This is the moments that she trains for. Look at the 8-ball again. It's there, is it? Oh dear.
Oh. It threatened, Mark. Well,
there you see, back to the chair, back to focus.
the 1 is in a tricky spot. If SEOA can get past the 9 and hit the left side of the 1, then there's a great opportunity just to push the 1 behind the 5, but it doesn't look like she's even got a sight on it at all. So she's going 1 rail, Marius is going to have to watch this one carefully.
Good hit.
Very good hit. And a good tap on the table of appreciation from Margaret there. I'm just wondering if you can get around.
Do you know the origin? Do you know the origin, Geffin, of the tapping on the table? Did I tell you?
Ooh, well, I wanted to hazard a guess at excess chalk off the tip or something, but I just put it down to polite play, good manners.
Yeah, it actually is derived from classical music and orchestras. When you're in an orchestra, you're forbidden to talk, and when a musician, say a violinist, would do a very, very good solo of a part of the music, then to say well done or good job, the people would either tap their foot on the floor or their hand on their chair, as they weren't allowed to speak, to say well done, good solo. And that's apparently where it comes from. So classical music and pool, you wouldn't normally put those two things together, but Mozart was a great pool player as well. He loved a game of pool. He used to have a pool table in his room, in his house.
Symphonies on the table. Well, I know when I was young, playing in pool teams, it used to be a tap of the butt of the cue on the floor to show appreciation. Where I live now in the Netherlands, everyone seems to like clicking their fingers to acknowledge a good shot. So maybe there's different regional aspects of showing appreciation too.
I don't like the clicking of the fingers, mainly because I can't really click my fingers very well. And I keep trying to do it, and by the time I finally get a sound out, the players miss the next ball and they think I'm being rude.
Yeah, you try clicking your fingers when you've got your glove on.
Oh, I don't wear a glove. You don't wear a glove, do you?
No, I do.
Are you a glove wearer?
I'm not a glove wearer, and I'm not a shoe wearer either, as I'm sure some of our fans will point out in the comment section. I very rarely have anything on my feet when I play, and I certainly don't wear a glove.
I wear a glove on my foot. Right, enough of this tomfoolery. Let's get back to this very, very important third and deciding set. Margaret looking to get on the hill. Sarah looking to keep her off it.
Yeah, she's been very composed in this third rack, SEOA. She's not been rushing around. She's worked out a very good closing pattern for herself here. Now just needs to execute it and bring the scoreline back to 2-1. Otherwise, FEFILOVA could be getting on the hill. Oh, slow down cue ball, slow down cue ball. Just popped it out a bit hotter than she'd expected. It's just left a thinner cut on this on this 9 ball than she wanted. And to hold for the 10, she'd ideally like to play this in dead weight, but she's gone for the dead weight, centre pocket. Great pot. Needed to be.
Yeah, still plenty of fight in this young Korean. She's not ready to give up just yet. Margaret's going to have to work for it. 2-1 it is then in this deciding set. Remember, don't discount a shootout either. Very, very possible if we reach 3-3, it will be a shootout.
Always the threat of a shootout, Mark. I know both of these players would like to avoid that and take this third rack without that added pressure. But yeah, that's always a looming threat over a third set thriller.
Sophia Mast and Savannah Easton already through and right on the brink of going through as well. Kennedy Mayman is a set all with Anita Kanya, but the American is 3-2 ahead in the deciding set. So possible shootout there as well, a possible win for Kennedy Mayman. And no one deserves it more than Kennedy. She travels everywhere, keeps trying. She gets some very, very heartbreaking defeats just before the big stages of tournaments. Could this be her year to break through into the last 16? Cue ball saved there.
Yeah, cue ball was saved. Dry break. Is there a pathway past the 5 into the corner? Because if there is, it looks like the 2 has dressed up quite nicely over the centre pocket, unless it's rolled up against the rail.
Yes, Sarah holding her hand up there to acknowledge the fact that she was very lucky she didn't scratch in the side pocket. The 1 ball saved it. It was on its way. Margaret off and running.
Off and running, indeed, and a good 2 to 3 here. And we could see Margaret in good position to take herself to the hill in this third deciding set. And playing it like that would suggest she's playing onto the 7 ball. Does not want to hit the right hand side of the 7 as the 3 will start to track down unless she wants to go in with power.
Yeah, a bit dangerous to use any power here. She's got to just drag this in. Yeah,
Okay,
knew if the 3 went, she'd be on the 4 as well. Can play with low right here. Get back to the centre of the table. This is a good chance now to get on the hill in this deciding set.
Yep, brought it back into the centre of the table. Mark will need, from this angle, it looks like, to go long rail back out to a similar position, because this is quite thin on the 5. Has that cue ball come out far enough? Let's have a look.
Well, I think she can just hold the cue ball where the 6 ball is and play the 8 to the top left. That's what she's looking at now. Won't want to be doing too much with the cue ball from here. I think she's okay. Doesn't want to end up dead straight, though, on the 8 ball. Needs to get back to the centre of the table, at least for the 9 off of the 8. So this is the all-important shot. Looking at maybe drawing past the 8 ball now to play it into the same pocket.
Yeah, clearly she didn't fancy that 8 passing the 10. She played that really well. Got every chance of getting onto the hill now. I'm sure she'll be thinking that. Be looking to hold her composure here. That's not bad at all, Mark. Needs to make sure of the pot. Shouldn't bring the centre pocket into play. And would like to finish as straight as possible on this 10 into the bottom left corner pocket on this Predator Arc table.
Well,
Has
this
made
is
it.
Good stuff here. Very, very good stuff from Margaret. And now, Sarah under enormous pressure. How Margaret would love to make a ball on the break here and keep the cue ball on the table. This is all you ask for when you're playing pool, is a chance. Sarah will be hoping for another dry break.
Yeah, great composure from FEFILOVA there. Needed to put herself on the hill. She's guaranteed a shootout at minimum. All the work now for SEOA to do. Just looking at the matchups for our next round of play. You mentioned Carla Biado versus Josh Filler on this table. Looks like on table 2, we're going to have Fedor Gorst taking on Nayuki Oi. And that will be for you and I to take, I believe. And I will be looking forward to that. I am more importantly looking forward to FEFILOVA's break here. She has started making balls. The last one was dry. Leading 3-1 in this deciding set. Breaking for the match. And that will bring SEOA out of her chair. And Mark, she didn't make ball. She didn't make a ball.
Yeah, it's her last break. And hasn't made a ball. Most unusual. She did make a ball, but she scratched. I apologise. But she hasn't had a successful break up to now. Oh, she's missed a combo. Wow. Now there is a bank onto the side pocket. If Margaret wants it, it will give her position onto the 2. Everything in the open. This could be a good chance here. Don't think she's going for it.
The body language from SEOA there just looked like she was beginning to give up a little. And if FEFILOVA can keep her in trouble, which I think she has done, well, this could be ominous signs. Big escape for her here, Mark.
Yeah, looking a little bit dejected. This is a, well, I won't say a must hit because of the position of the 4 and the 6, but she has missed it. But look where the 2's gone now. That's going to provide a nice opportunity to play the 2 and disturb the 6-4.
Great call, Mark. And that
changed the whole rack, that 2 ball going there, Gethin.
Completely. And if she can just nubble the 6 out, back out table and hold for the 3, when she gets down for the 2, this could be ideal. It starts here though, Mark. Ball in hand on the 1. Yeah.
Well, she tried to move it there. That's bizarre.
I didn't think that was the shot. I felt you were were right. The 2 ball was beautifully positioned. And now that makes this clearance a lot tougher, if in fact not possible.
Yeah, I mean, even if she got the cannon there, she wasn't guaranteed to be on the 2. So I'm a little bit surprised at that shot, but she's played a good safety. She got SEOA in trouble again. Does have the 1 rail, 2 in the side.
The 9 does look a bit naughty where it is. I might change my mind when we look back across the table, but oh, it wasn't in the way. She's made a good contact on the 2 and got good distance. So, still in it, and queuing over the 5 will make FEFILOVA's shot a little bit trickier.
Well, the pressure out there now is immense on both players. Another good attempt here.
Yeah, I like how she played that. SEOA can get to this too, but I'm not sure she can get to the pot. She's coming off trying up the bottom rail.
Just trying to push the 2 past the 7. Great shot. Well, I'm not sure she's got the hook. Good shot though.
Yeah, that wasn't far away from...
Is there a possible 2-6-4 on here? No. Just the safety.
Great touch. And again, bringing her opponent back to the table in a difficult position. This is exactly what she needs to do at 3-1 in the lead. Ask questions of SEOA. One mistake could be the difference between a comeback and clinching it at this opportunity.
Oh, great kick, unfortunate.
Yeah. Great contact. A bad result. And is that going to be the mistake that gives FEFILOVA the opportunity to take this match at this opportunity? That 4 ball still close to the 6 there, Mark. I can only imagine she's going to try and run into it. Now, she just gestured with her cue, looking to contact the long rail. 1 diamond across the left from the top centre pocket as we're looking at the table, and then putting it down to the pace and angle of the cue ball. Oh, needed to make the pot first.
Yeah, too much concentration. Too much concentration on the cue ball there. Forgot to pot the 3 ball. Simple as that. Very easy to take your eye off the pot when you're trying to get the cue ball onto the next ball. Oh, she's overhit this, I think. She's overhit it.
By a long way, Mark. I even thought there was a call of playing it the other way round and just bringing the 9 in between the 2, but just not going SEOA's way. She's clearly not her complete self, as we know what she's capable of. But let's not take anything away from her opponent. She, in this rack alone, has been putting SEOA in trouble on many occasions.
Yeah, again a loose one though. Now can play the combo here, I think. Gethin. 8 to the side, 3 will be travelling to the right. And if she is lucky enough to be on the 3 afterwards, the 4 is now in the open. Oh, missed the 8 ball. I can't believe she's missed the 8. Looked unmissable to me. Well, different when you're on the table though.
Yeah, the knuckle was lurking. And that's what it caught. And what it has done is it's taken the pace out of that 8 ball and left shape on the 3.
No.
Oh, it's getting to that point of the match, Mark.
Yeah, the nerves are becoming a big part of it now. The last 3 shots from Margaret have been a little bit iffy.
Will the South Korean spot that and look to just use that to her advantage? That is a good start.
Well, this is in the middle of the table. This is not an easy hit off one rail. Tendency to slide past them. Yeah, just like that. So now, favourite for this rack, and to pull a rack back to within 1. The Korean with a great chance here.
There does seem to be enough of a gap for that 4 to go into the corner pocket. As you can just see from that camera angle up in the top left. Now our top right, and that is what SEOA has played for, and she's made it.
Chance of a shootout still looming very large.
Oh, Mark, you said the S word. I mean, this is SEOA's only hope is to get to the shootout now.
Yeah, even though everything in the open, there's still a little thing called pressure, which we don't obviously feel here. When we're just talking about it, it's very, very easy from here to sit and criticise and to analyse, unless you're down on the table feeling that pressure, the arms stiffening up. Just like that there. You would never, ever bet against her making that ball, never. She'd probably never miss that in a year in practice, never. And yet,
Wow.
add the pressure and anything's missable. Has she played her last shot, Gethin?
Well, judging by the layout, you would have to give FEFILOVA the benefit of the doubt here. But as we've just witnessed, gimmies can become trouble. So composure needed again. We've already seen this from FEFILOVA in the last rack.
3 balls away from the last 16, and I can confirm Kennedy Mayman has made it to the last 16. She has beaten Anita Kanyaya by 2 sets to 1.
What a result.
Oh, is there one more little twist in the tail? She's just slightly the wrong side of this 9 ball. Does she go past it and play it into the top, or can she hold it to play it into the bottom left as we look?
She might have to do what you suggested at the start and come underneath it.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
has,
she's
hasn't
played
she?
for.
Well, we've seen these miss many times going past that side point. They always seem to jut out for some reason. This is tough. She's not straight in behind it either. This for a place in the last 16.
Oh, caught the centre pocket. And look where that 10 ball's popped out to, Mark.
Well, I mentioned the points of the pocket. They always seem to jut out. They don't, of course, but it's just plays tricks with your mind. And whenever you see them 10 balls missed, it's always missed in that fashion or trying to miss the point and play to the left-hand side of the pocket. So, still alive, 3-2. Our next match on here, Biardo against Villa. They will be waiting in the wings. It will follow this match. And on table 2, Fedor Gorst against Nokioi Geffen. You mentioned that one as being a standout fixture. Well, that's the one we've got next over on table 2. But who knows, we might even stay here. On table 1, they could switch the matches over if this goes to a shootout.
Yeah, they could do indeed, and you just get this little feeling, or certainly I am, Mark, that the longer this match goes on, the better the chance that SEOA starts to glimpse that confidence. And FEFILOVA will not want that to happen, and, well, we see SEOA breaking now, trailing 3 racks to 2 in this deciding set. If she were to win this, it takes us to a shootout. Needs to make balls off the break to have the best chance. Again, that one ball looking like it was travelling towards the centre pocket, but getting a contact, thick contact. And that brings Margaret out of her chair. I'm not going to call anything, Mark, but safety would be the order of the day here in my book. Needs the 2 or the 10 to come into play. I think there's a window. Maybe not to see the potting angle, Mark, but certainly to try and return the favour and put FEFILOVA in more trouble. That one ball slowing down nicely. Did it slow down enough? Margaret having a closer inspection. If there is anything, it will be the thinnest of edges. Ooh, she's called the bank. Maybe as a bit of insurance, but that means she could see a bit more of this than I originally anticipated. Oh. And that was not far away, Mark. Don't think the 3's come to block the path, but there's a lot of traffic in between the 1 and the 2. Yeah, and if SEO can see the potting angle on this ball, which I feel she can, this uncertainty is how she's going to get through to the blue 2. And if it's not on, I was going to say maybe she would turn down the pot, but hasn't turned down the pot, Mark, and has got herself in a real spot of bother on the 2. do you do here? Well, so I was looking for a gap between the 10 and the 3. We'll need to load up a bit of side on this. Owen has played that really well. Where's the cue ball, though? Mark White, you could not write this. FEFILOVA with ball in hand.
Well, going to have to play a 6-9 if she's to run out here, though, or move the 6-9. Going to have to do something about that. Well, is she going for 3 fouls here? Yeah, cleverly moving the 9.
Well, the up and down seems the obvious shot to play. SEOA taking a rack against FEFILOVA in the second set with 3 fouls. Nearly did it in the following rack. Ooh, that's finished a little weird. Right in between the 9 and the blue 2. Where's this cue ball going to go? Oh, she's caught the long rail very nicely. Did she judge it? Well, a bit difficult to see if it passes the 5. There may be a 1 rail escape. Yep, seems there is. And I think the way she's just dressed that up, she might even be going for the pot on this, down into the bottom left corner. Ooh, she just had a little crouch down to see if she's left a chunk of the 2. Got a feeling she has. May run into the 8 here. Oh, cushion first. And that is not safe, Mark. Well, you feel the shot into the top left pocket or top right as we look at the overhead. If we were playing aggressive, but at this stage, well, there was always options to go safe. SEOA hasn't. She's brought the cue ball around the table, looking for the red 3 into the centre pocket. Hasn't come far enough, but great attempt. Turning down the pot, looking to swing the cue ball up to the top of the table. And that's nicely played.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot. This is not easy either now. This is horrible. She may have to swerve this or jump it.
Well, I was just looking if she could slide past the 5 and maybe come through the 6-9. That might be a shot. But no, Mark. You've called it. She's going airborne.
Could have been worse, Gethin.
Could have been. Big, thick double kiss. And that 6 ball spoiling the party for the 3 down the rail, so I'm not too sure if she can play the 3 round the table where the 8 ball is and leave the cue ball tracking down towards the 6.
Terrible shot. Don't know what she's done there, but she's got a double kiss, I think. Like a bit of a double kiss.
That's what it looked like, indeed. I think she wanted to avoid that and bring more distance between the balls. She's called the cannon. She's made the combination and left a nice position to maybe get this cue ball out. I'm not too sure if the 9 will come into play. It shouldn't do. But maybe the centre pocket will if she doesn't catch this right. So this camera angle will reveal all. Yeah, avoided the centre pocket mark, and will we see Margaret prevent the shootout and take it at this visit?
Oh, there's every chance now. Everything in the open. Just a few little stop shots. Little draw to the 7.
And I would have to say, Mark, in the scheme of things, this is a great, well, would be a great victory for Margaret, because we know what SEOA is capable of. Just floating this down off the long rail around the 9. It's gone quiet out there, Mark, hasn't it? Can hear a pin drop.
I've never heard a pin drop, have you? I've never found a needle in a haystack either. I've never been looking for one, to be honest. I'd just go and buy another needle, wouldn't you? You wouldn't bother looking, would you?
I'd be surprised if some of the younger people today know what a needle is. I used to get them stuck in my foot all the time as a young'un.
Serves you right for wearing no shoes.
There you go. Well, one good draw shot required, Mark. One roll extra would have done, but this shot to take Margaret FEFILOVA into the last 16 of the Pro Billiard Series Women's Las Vegas Open.
Yeah, and I've just been told that we are going to, in fact, stay on this table. They're starting table 2 already. They're not waiting. So next up on this table, Joshua Filler against Carlo Biardo. What a cracker that's going to be. Over on table 2, Fedor Gorst is up against Nokioi.